Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. So I think all the negatives about Battlefield 5 have been spoken about extensively, both on this channel and by other commentators, but rarely have I seen a balanced video talking about the positives and the pitfalls of the game. So in the following video I'm going to talk about the 5 critical takeaways Battlefield 6 should really draw from Battlefield 5. For the purpose of this video I'm going to exclude talking about the lack of content marketing around the game and Firestorm, that I'd rather focus on what is actually in the multiplayer of Battlefield 5 at present. However, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about Firestorm, I touch on it in a video I'll link at the end. If you do enjoy, be sure to subscribe and give this video a like so I know you like this type of content. So as the pitfalls have been covered so frequently, let's start with a positive. Battlefield 5 has always been a game of teamwork. Now yes, there are always those players that are in it for themselves that we all hate, but Battlefield encapsulates a feeling that not many other games manage. That feeling you get when your mates in a squad capture an objective all by yourselves when it feels like the whole opposing team is against you, or when your squad mates get in a vehicle together and proceed to annihilate an entire lobby. These feelings of camaraderie Battlefield 5 did not lose, and if anything kind of expanded on. Squad requisitions is a prime example here, rewarding successful and team squad play, and the introduction of the new revive mechanic where everyone in the team could revive their fellow comrades really hammers home the feeling of being part of an all-encompassing team rather than that solo player feeling that still to this day many popular games like Call of Duty haven't quite mastered. Put simply, Battlefield 6 needs to continue innovating to create that team feeling we all know and love. For example, it would be good in the next game if squad leaders could have a way to communicate in game through a similar mechanic that Battlefield 5 already implements, and that is how you ask for ammo and health through that wheel. In addition, you could have different coloured circles under the objectives on the large minimap, informing you as a squad what other squads are doing if they're defending certain objectives or if they're deciding to attack a certain objective. Just a thought, but again it would enhance that team feeling of the game, allowing different squads to coordinate like that. Now moving on to a pitfall of Battlefield 5, and it is a big one, and it's the time to kill. For one, this is something that really shouldn't be changed post-game release as it's just so fundamental to the game, but I think the bigger issue here is how they left the time to kill, and the time to kill now is way too long. I mean, just take a look at these clips on screen now. One is a clip of the MTAR in Battlefield 4, and you can visibly see the time to kill here is a lot quicker than in Battlefield 5. Compare that to the Suomi, a very similar type of gun to the MTAR in Battlefield 4, is almost Battlefield 5 counterpart, and you can visibly see the time to kill is a lot longer. And you have to bear in mind the Suomi also has an extra 20 bullets in it in this clip with the extended mags attachment. The problem with this is it also makes the Suomi only viable if you pick that extended mag specialisation tree, which is not good considering specialisation trees in themselves are extremely limiting for weapon customisation, even if both routes were viable in the first place. Now if you compare this to something like Call of Duty and the M4A1, yes there are meta attachments like the monolithic suppressor, however if you don't run this the M4 is still viable and doesn't become completely unusable unlike the Suomi. Now the consensus is looking highly likely, but if not certain, Battlefield 6 is going to be set in present day, so it's likely they'll adopt a similar time to kill to previous titles based around that period, i.e. Battlefield 3 and 4, or at least I'd hope so to avoid the issues aforementioned in Battlefield 5. Battlefield 6 also needs to move away from these specialisation trees and back to a style of weapon customisation that was used in Battlefield 4. However, for a new title on the next generation of consoles, customisation really needs to start looking like Call of Duty more than a 2013 Battlefield game, that being Battlefield 4. Battlefield 5 did innovate though with some of its in-game features and integrated them into some new game modes. Fortifications is what I'm referring to here. Fortifications were a welcome addition to the game, allowing the landscape of the map to change in real time, almost a continuation of Levolution in many ways. But not merely did they add this feature, they built game modes around it like Outposts. Now Outposts may not have been everyone's cup of tea, but for many it was a very enjoyable game mode that we haven't seen the likes of before in Battlefield. With a new more powerful next generation console, let's see what's possible. If Battlefield 6 could expand on this, allowing a certain class type like support for example to place sandbags anywhere on the map rather than in predetermined locations, allowing your squad to hold a position with greater effect that would have previously been undefensible, would open up the map to far more interesting engagements and every game would be that bit different. Now don't panic when I say this, but think of Fortnite here. A large part of the Fortnite map had open spaces, very similar to some Battlefield maps, but every fight was different due to the building mechanic. Now I'm not saying anything close to Fortnite here in terms of their building mechanics, I'm talking about a sandbag, but the idea being that portable defences like this allow for a more varied gameplay experience. I think if Battlefield 6 could implement something like this, it would be very, very cool, but let me know your thoughts in the comments regarding this. Vehicle play and animations then, a pet peeve of mine in Battlefield 5. However, it's part of a larger point of realism versus in-game experience. In Battlefield 5, the vehicle play is exceptionally campy due to the slow manoeuvrability, high health and the need to refill ammo on the tanks, meaning sitting back is actually the optimum way to achieve results in vehicles, at least in terms of high kill games. Now compare that to Battlefield 4, where all the vehicles were faster and more agile, along with having unlimited ammo, making people far more inclined to push up with the tank and use them in objective play, and in turn also more vulnerable to infantry attacks. Now, do you think the M1 Abrams tank in real life had unlimited ammo? No, of course not, but it speaks to this wider point of realism versus in-game experience. Arguably, Battlefield 5 depicts vehicle play far more realistically than prior titles, maybe with the exception of Battlefield 1 because that was also quite realistic. Yet the slow play and the animations that take years to get out of are not fun gameplay mechanics. Getting up close and personal with a tank, jumping out of a vehicle instantly to shoot someone down or repair your buddy is far more interesting and exciting than proceeding to crawl out the tank and just getting gunned. Battlefield 6 needs to find that right line between realism and gameplay experience, where Battlefield 5 didn't actually really hit the mark here. So moving on to another positive is the picturesque maps, or aka the graphics. The visual graphics and audio design of Battlefield 5 is actually stunning. I mean, just take a look at some of this, guys. Arras and Marisha are stunning maps if you take a look at these. If you look at the promo trailers, especially on screen now, they just look beautiful. And the audio design is also excellent. For those who play Warzone, you know the difficulties in hearing opponents in that game, and COD really could take a page from DICE's book here from audio design. Battlefield 6 needs to take another quantum leap here when it comes to the next generation consoles, and looking back through history does provide feelings of hope and excitement, as DICE has delivered when previous consoles have been released. Just remember the release of Battlefield 3 on Xbox 360 and PS3. This kind of worldwide destruction was unseen in the gaming industry, and if DICE could deliver this kind of shift that Battlefield 3 did to the gaming industry all those years ago for Battlefield 6 in terms of graphic, audio and game design, then we are in for a treat. The class changes then. Battlefield 5 has done some great things and some not so great things with classes. Some classes like the Recon have seen really good changes, some classes like the Medic have seen overpowered changes, and then there are some classes that have faded to almost be insignificant, like the Assault class, at least in terms of the utility they bring to the battle. So let's go into it. Medic in previous games was always a good balanced class to pick, delivering good utility to the team while also providing you with faster regeneration of health. Now Medic has become significantly stronger than other classes, which I do a bit of a deep dive in the video above, but I think if you have to boil it down to one factor, it would be the fact that now every class doesn't have the ability to regenerate to full health other than the Medic, giving Medic players such an exceptional advantage in situations where you are dealing with multiple enemies in a short period of time and you don't have the opportunity to get to a health station. Medic can just pop that health kit and is instantly regenerating up to 100 health pretty quickly as well. Assault on the other hand has received an unprecedented nerf. The Panzerfaust does significantly less damage and has lower accuracy than weapons in its class type from previous games like the RPG in Battlefield 4, and compounding that is going against the tank meta that is far more campier, making it even more important to have a powerful long range projectile over close range explosives like the anti-tank grenade and dynamite. So for Battlefield 6 there definitely needs to be that reimagining of the classes once again, as at present, although it's not all down to the classes alone admittedly and somewhat the meta of Battlefield 5, the classes aren't balanced. One great improvement they should keep though is changes to the Recon, specifically referring to the spotting flares here. This has really encouraged Recon players to be slightly more aggressive and allows them to bring great utility to the team rather than just sitting back and contributing very little to the objective. I have been contemplating making 2 new videos, one being a walkthrough of Battlefield from the first ever release to present day, making it fairly objective because I didn't play the first Battlefield, so I'd want to look objectively at what's changed over the Battlefield franchise throughout the years, or making a video about how EA went wrong with the marketing of Battlefield 5 and the impact their recent rebrand could have on future games. Let me know what you'd prefer. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you do, remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching as always. Have a great day and peace out.